me hearties. Welcomes to another tutorial from Chatterware. And once again, we'd be using the Polygon Pirate Pack from Cinti Studios. Now, hi, it's Peter here. This is where we got up to in the Quick Start tutorial. So, if you haven't seen Quick Start tutorial for version 1.03, please go and check that out now. And then come back and we'll show you what's cooking beyond the Quick Start. So with the Quick Start, we just got you to find the root, drop the Now We're Talking prefab onto the head, having followed it through the spine and the neck to the head. So the head object has got the Now We're Talking object on it. Just have a quick look through this. What we set up was 2 NPC phases. So this is non-player character phases. So this means there are 2 lists of conversations, and each conversation has a phase name. This is Pirate Captain 1, Pirate Captain 2, and here are the 5 voice clips that are in Captain 01 and the 2 that are in Captain 02. So that just brings us back up to where we were. Right, let's have a look at some extra new features, and we'll go back to the top and we'll start with the eyes and the eyebrows. So Cinti characters tend to have eyes and eyebrows, and so we can use those. We can drag eyes into the eye slot and eyebrows into the eyebrow slot. If you don't use them, don't worry, the code looks after itself. When you do use them, it then adds in some features and capabilities. So although you add them in here, down here is where you turn them on. And let's have a look at these 3 checkboxes and a slider. So the first checkbox and the second checkbox are to do with blinks and eye movements, and the last checkbox is to do with eyebrows, if you've got eyebrows like this guy has. So let's look at eyebrows first. We'll leave eyebrows on, and hopefully we should see oh, hello. Oh, what's going on? Oh yeah, there you go, some little movements. Let's get a closer view of our character. Let's get in a bit tighter. So you can see what's happening. The eyebrows are emoting. They're giving some kind of expression, if you like. Now, if we go back to Now We're Talking and add in just blinks, the eyes will now start to blink. And if you adjust the max blink timer, you can have him blink a lot very quickly, so he could be a little bit nervous, or could be dusty, or you can actually get the maximum blink timer right up to, I think it's 150 units. Yeah, so basically the maximum it can be not blinking for is 150 units, but of course it might randomly choose anywhere along this line. So that's really a range 0 to 90 in this case, and that's the sort of effect it'll have, which when he's talking actually is pretty good.
Where's the rum? Where's the rum?
So it adds a bit of character to the character, and it gives him the ability to emote. So the emotive blink is not really a blink, it's more a motion, but it's controlled by the same code loop. So if I put that on and we go in, I'll just go in a bit tighter because you'll be able to see that the eyes move a little bit more dramatically. So let's get him speaking as well. Hold on. again, it just gives him that little bit of emotion.
Arr!
And when you're looking at characters and they're all doing slightly different things, got a group of characters here and talking to each other,
Arr!
it just adds a little bit of dynamics to the scene, and I think it works quite well. So I'm quite happy with that. So that's the emotive blinks, just blink on, and eyebrows. What I should say is, if you want blinks, just go for the standard blink. So that's emotive blink, just blink on, and eyebrows on. And what I should point out is that emotive blink on, if you turn that on, it takes priority over just blink. So it's possible to just turn that on in code and have it work for a few moments and then turn it back off again, so that you get the proper blinking action of your character, which is quite good. Right, let's have a look at the actual mouths. These have changed ever so slightly. So if you look here, you'll see now they've got a child object and they're basically lips. So if we go to the Now We're Talking and turn all the lips on, these are the actual lips shapes that we're using. They're just copies of the mouths, and they're just made slightly larger and slightly offset. So let's have a look at this one. Let's see what happens here. Right, nothing. So that's not quite right. So we'll just pause that, switch over to the scene. We are in scene view. What we'll do is we'll have a little look at where those lips are, and they're actually in front of the mouth. So what we need to do is push them slightly behind, like that, and we can grab that, copy the component, turn it off, and then just paste it back in so that sort of setting sticks better. So let's have a look now. Okay, no, that's with no lips on. We must, because I was running at the time I turned those on. So when I stopped running the editor, all these were turned off again. There it is back on. Let's have a look again now. Play audio.
Where's the rum?
So it adds a little difference to the mouth. It gives a bit of a flavour of lips. You can change the lips colour, of course, by select the object and just change the colour to something different. Let's see how deep red lipstick on our captain looks. Here we go.
Where's the rum?
Lovely. Now, it might not be useful for human characters, but I found it very useful for inanimate objects like vehicles or cliff faces. If you had a whole mountain actually start talking to you, then these kind of things work a bit better. And indeed, if you wanted something a little bit more like what was I thinking, the square mouth. Let's just get the lips in the right place on the square mouth. Let's pause that again. Okay, so just a little bit back. Yeah, so that's good, and we'll just grab that, turn it off and paste it back in, and then let's turn the lips back on, and we'll slip to mouth shape number 2. So this will go to square shapes or rectangular shapes, and then we play here.
Where's the rum?
So you get a very different looking mouth, and again you can change the colour to something little bit lighter perhaps. Let's try that.
Where's the rum?
It just gives a bit of definition around the edge.
Arr!
Let's let's switch over to voice mouth 1. See how that looks. Let's move that mouth back a bit, so we'll just pause it, take those lips and push them behind the mouth a little bit. And you could actually, if you wanted to, you could probably stretch them out a little bit as well, and that'll give them a little bit more depth. Turn those off, copy and paste that back in place. Let's have a look and see what mouth data presets. Slider set to 1, and then here we go. Now that's quite different. So actually, that's unusual. It gets so big that it actually interferes with his beard, and so we could actually let's just turn the loop on and let's fire off the audio again.
Where's the rum? Where's the rum? Where's the rum? Where's the rum? Where's the...
And we'll turn the volume right down so it doesn't get too annoying. And then we go back up to another new slider we've introduced called, let me see if I can find it. Lips Reducer, this one. So by turning off allow mouth data presets, we free up all these sliders, and we can now make a little change and see if we can reduce that mouth so that it's not as big as it was. So something like that. Let's have a little listen to that now.
Rum. Where's the rum? Where's the rum? Where's the rum? Where's the rum?
So now that mouth is working slightly better. So you can see you can get a load of variety out of the options that we've got. One of the other things that we've added is this little box here, which is Debug Results, and what that's going to do is start to print out lots of information here. So as you're setting up your characters, you can turn this on and it will allow you to see if you have made any sort of standard easy to do mistakes, forgetting to actually put something in one of these slots, or not putting a voice in, or not having a phase play. Let's just see if we can find one of those. So at the minute we've got this phase turned on, so let's just see what it does if we attempt.
Where's the rum?
So it says at least one NPC phase must have their play phase set to true, and if we look at it, that's what I just turned off. So when you look at these two, this or this has to be turned on. Now if that was the first time you ran this, there would be no voices. What it's doing is warning you as to why there would be no voices, and that's just because you need to have one of those set.
Where's the rum?
Excellent. Well, that's a quick rundown of the new features that you can find inside version 1.03. Hope that you found that useful, and don't forget, we're on the Discord channel, and the community's growing. It's small at the minute, but hopefully get some more people joining and being able to support each other. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Chatterware Tutorials. For Now We're Talking. Bye for now.